Ask Engine 15. Adopt a to sell is to serve attitude. The Lantern Merchant. A go for no fable. There was once a man named Mathias who made lanterns in a small coastal town. Without question, his lanterns were the finest anyone had ever seen. They burned longer, shined brighter, and withstood the harsh winds that swept in from the sea. Yet year after year, his shop remained empty. One day, Mathias grew frustrated and told his wife, "My lanterns are still not selling." His wife replied, "The lantern's job is to shine a light, not to sell. Selling is your job." This is not what Mathias wanted to hear. He disliked selling and considered it beneath him. He felt people should simply recognize quality when they see it and be willing to pay his price. So, he stayed at his workshop, polishing brass and trimming wicks, while fishermen came and went, buying cheap, inferior lanterns from other less talented lantern makers. One day, an old sailor entered the shop, carrying a broken lantern. "My boat leaves tonight," the sailor said. "I need to buy a lantern." Mathias handed the sailor one of his lanterns, but when the sailor was told the price, he said, "That's too expensive." Mathias crossed his arms. "The price is the price. Take it or leave it," he snapped. The sailor stormed out of the shop empty-handed. The next morning, Mathias was walking to the shop and spotted the old sailor sitting in the darkness of the harbor, tears in his eyes. "Why do you cry, my friend?" Mathias asked. "My lantern went out, and my ship was wrecked on the rocks," the sailor moaned. "Well, you should have bought one of my lanterns when you had the chance," Mathias snorted. "My lanterns have reflective polish and a larger flame to help you see farther ahead and avoid rocks. And you don't have to refill my lanterns. They burn through the entire night and stay lit even during storms. They are made of sturdy brass to keep out the sea spray. You would not be sitting here, weeping in the darkness, had you bought one of my lanterns." "No," the sailor replied. "I weep because you did not care enough to sell me a better lantern." Mathias turned and walked away, filled with shame. That night, he did not sleep. He sat alone in his workshop, with one of his lanterns burning on his bench. He studied its polished brass. He examined its sturdy glass. He adjusted the wick and watched the flame shine steadily against the walls. For the first time, he did not see a lantern. He saw a ship wrecked upon the rocks. He saw frightened sailors struggling to stay afloat in cold, dark waters. He saw wives waiting on the shore for husbands who would never return from the sea. He heard the sailor's words ringing in his ears. "I weep because you did not care enough to sell me a better lantern." The next morning, Mathias opened his shop earlier than ever before. But this time, he did not wait behind his counter. He walked to the harbor. He spoke with fishermen before they left at dawn. He visited the shipyards. He climbed aboard vessels and asked the captains about storms. He asked sailors about dangerous reefs. He asked families how often their loved ones returned after dark. When people objected to the price of his lanterns, he no longer crossed his arms in anger. Instead, he would say, "Let me show you why this lantern costs more." Within a few years, Mathias's shop became the busiest in the town. Sailors began seeking him out. Captains recommended his lanterns. Families sent their sons to learn from him. When young apprentices asked him the secret of selling, Mathias would point toward the wooden sign that now hung over his door and said, "Live by this, and you will succeed." The sign read, "The purpose of a quality lantern is to return you safely from the sea. The purpose of the lantern maker is to make sure you buy one."